Hey guys, Dr. Morse, Injury Experts. Busy day here down in Miami, but wanted to get this out before week 6 began. Tons of injuries today, tons of injuries this week, in addition to however many there are already. We're looking at somewhere in the 60 range. I'm going to do quarterbacks, running backs, and then a separate video for wide receivers and tight ends. I will do timestamps. If you are watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see them. On Twitter, you won't be able to see the timestamp. Just go over the YouTube channel. So Aaron Rodgers, dealing with a combination of ankle and hamstring injuries. He will play. He just will gut it out. Derek Carr dealing with an oblique strain that's going to probably hold him out between 1 and 3 weeks. This is the opposite side of his throwing shoulder, and these are notorious for re-injury. They usually take about 2 to 3 weeks to heal. With that being said, we will see Spencer Rattler actually come in and play, and we will probably see a lot of targets to Olave and probably some to Rashid as well. Matthew Stafford is on a bye, but he's dealing with a little bit of back soreness. Josh Allen, I don't know how he did not get removed from the game and kept out of the game with a concussion. You could see his head bang off the turf. You could see him kind of out for a couple seconds. You saw them try to hand him a specific thing in his hand that was a smelling salt. They said he did not have a concussion, and he was cleared to play. I don't know, super shady, super suspicious. But as far as we're concerned going forward, he does not have a concussion. Anthony Richardson looked really good in practice today, so he's probably going to return. But his receiving core is pretty banged up, and he hasn't been, looking very good. Levis dealing with a shoulder injury. He should likely return this week. Justin Herbert, not quite 100% from that high ankle sprain, but he will return and he'll be playing. Jordan Love close to 100% with his knee injury, and Russell Wilson back-to-back days with full practice in his calf. They're still going to start Justin Fields, but would not be surprised if we had a short leash or if we ended up seeing Russell Wilson in some capacity if the team's struggling. Let's head over to running backs. So there's about 23 or 4 on the list, so a fair amount. James Cook popped up with a turf toe. I believe this is left toe, if I think about how he was landing. He has not practiced yet. They have a Monday night game, so if he could potentially practice on Friday or Saturday, maybe he could play. I think, Ray Davis and maybe Johnson are going to get looks regardless of whether or not Cook is going to play. This is a little bit of a risky play. We probably won't know until Saturday if he's going to be able to play. And this is a very painful injury. This is a injury where he has trouble with explosiveness, and I would not be surprised if he ended up having to leave the game. So this is a tough matchup too. So realistically, lower your expectations if Cook does suit up. Bijan Robinson has been dealing with a hamstring injury for about 2.5 weeks now. He popped up again on the injury report today. I think they're just basically saying, yes, it's bothering him. I would not be surprised if we saw a combo of him and Algier, more so 50-50. Hopefully this is not something that Nico Collins dealt with where he was fine until he wasn't. So hopefully Bijan is fine. Aaron Jones is on a bye this week, but has a hip, possible hamstring injury. They've been calling it a hip, but we'll see. Ty Chandler would be the guy, but we'll have to see because they have an extra week off. Travis Etienne with a shoulder injury has not looked very good. Tank Bigsby has been looking much better, so I wouldn't be surprised if he takes over this backfield, but both will play. Rachaad White dealing with a foot injury. Initially could have been a turf toe, but it looks like it may have been a mid-foot sprain, which is Liz Frank sprain. This is probably a mild version of it because they didn't really say anything about it until now, and they're not putting him on IR as far as we know. But there's a tough chance he plays this week, and if he does, he's going to have a lot of issues planting and just pushing off. So I think this is going to be a Bucky Irving type event here. Chase Brown popped up today with a quad injury. Probably a bruise, but usually you don't bruise your quad in a practice. It's usually more of a game type setting. And if it is a quad strain, this is a big problem. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. But as of right now, I'm expecting him to play. Zack Moss, I think there's a chance he plays. I think he has a high ankle, but it looks like it's super mild. Nonetheless, I think that realistically, I think Chase Brown is going to lead this backfield this week. Rhamondre Stevenson took a helmet to the calf, which is very painful and caused a lot of swelling, which causes some other issues. I don't know if he's going to play this week. If he does, it's going to be limited. We'll have to see. He is going to play with Drake May, though, if he does play. Antonio Gibson would be the guy if he's not able to go. Achane is in a concussion protocol, but he's on a bye. Alvin Kamara dealing with a minor hand injury, he'd be fine. Gus Edwards, I haven't seen practice status today, but as of yesterday, he did not practice, so maybe we start to get a little look at Kamani Vidal. I don't know, but definitely something to monitor. Austin Ekeler popped up with a heel injury. I think he'll be fine. Trey Sermon was a DNP yesterday with a collarbone, but full practice today, so he'll be fine. Jonathan Taylor did not practice today, and I do not expect him to play this week with a high ankle sprain. Maybe next week, 50-50 on that one. Joe Mixon returned to practice today in a limited capacity, which is good news. Not ready to say he's completely ready to return, but this is great news. Dameon Pierce actually practiced fully from his hamstring, so this would be either Pierce or Mixon or both. I don't think Akers is going to get a lot of work, and Ogumbuale, we'll see how that plays out. As far as Bijan Robinson, another do not practice. He kind of did this last week, so we'll have to see how it plays out, but a little bit risky nonetheless. McNichols looked pretty good. Ekeler obviously there. They have a little bit of a tough matchup anyway, though. We will not see Nick Chubb this week, in my opinion. I just don't think he's ready. He needs another week or two, and even then, I'm just going to lower my expectations. Devin Singletary is going to probably return this week, probably split touches to keep him fresh with Tracy. Cordero Patterson is out. Zamir White probably out with his groin strain. Jaylen Warren has a chance to return with his PCL sprain. And then, as I mentioned, Bucky Irving should be good to go despite his hamstring, and Dameon Pierce should be ready to return with his hamstring strain. So that will make it the Week 6 preview heading into Thursday Night Football in a couple hours. If you have any questions, let me know. Hit me on Twitter. Respond to the YouTube videos. I try to answer as many questions as I can. Remember, I am a full-time doc. If you have any comments, I would love to hear them. We'll see you on the next video.